So, I want to start today's video out by thanking somebody who is a new sponsor of mine. I've been contacted by AuxBeam. They actually emailed me and contacted me about the Element initially, and they said they wanted to offer me a free set for the Element just to try out for my channel and do a quick review on it. The Element ones turned out awesome, but I really haven't done a lot of Element videos, so I asked them about the wagon. So this is what they sent me for the wagon. They sent me the low beams and the high beams for the wagon, which is very timely because I'm trying to clean up the wagon, and I'll show you the difference in my dark garage. So I know a few of you have noticed, and I have kind of talked about it a little bit, but this car, when I bought it, came with HID low beams, which it's fine. I'm not a big fan of HIDs in projector housing, or not in non-projector housings, I should say. So you can see it HID, it's kind of, it's okay. It's not very bright at night though, and that's my big deal. And I'll show you my brights. And that's my brights, and as you can see, there's still the halogen. Now this test will kind of show what's going on, but it'll be a lot easier to see when it's nighttime actually. It's hard to tell, but that one is much brighter. I went ahead and did the passenger side. It's got an immediate beam here it cuts, which again you'll be able to see at night better. But I did notice that with the Element, it cuts a very nice straight line like the HID would in an actual projector housing, which is a huge thing to me. And the brights, you'll notice I still got the halogen on this side, and the AuxBeam on the side. You actually hear it has a fan going. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I'm excited to see what they look like at night. But yeah, that's my little plug. I want to show you guys that, and we'll check them out. It's hard to tell, but that one is much brighter. I went ahead and did the passenger side. It's got an immediate beam here it cuts, which again you'll be able to see at night better. But I did notice that with the Element, it cuts a very nice straight line like the HID would in an actual projector housing, which is a huge thing to me. And the brights, you'll notice I still got the halogen on this side, and the AuxBeam on the side. You actually hear it has a fan going. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I'm excited to see what they look like at night. But yeah, that's my little plug. I want to show you guys that, and we'll check them out. Well, I actually started this video a couple days ago when I was doing the headlight kind of install. This one is off a 97 Sentra, Nissan Sentra. I'm thinking about either mounting it back here in this corner or just somewhere here. I don't know. Not a big deal. It's going to be a little bit different setup, obviously. But for now, I just kind of had that tank there. But actually what I need for the new setup is a bottom feed reservoir like this one instead of the cap feed or the cap return. I've been doing a lot of research about it. I don't really quite understand it. So without much more further ado, I want to kind of explain what my big surprises I've been waiting on. Some of the keen eye subscribers may have seen a quick little corner of it in some of my videos. I've been kind of teasing it a little bit. If you're in my live stream a couple weeks back when I was in the garage talking, I actually showed it to people that were in the live stream for a long time, because if you're on my live stream and you're supporting me like that, thank you so much. That's awesome. I reward the people that are in there for a while with something. So this was my surprise to them. So let me get you guys what I'm talking about. Enough stalling. Ta-da! This is what I've been talking about. This has been the secret project for a little bit. So I started talking to my buddy Andy over at Poppop's garage, and he had this set up on his D-Series that he had laying around. And it's actually, the mounts are fabricated so that you can actually mount it there in the AC location where the stock AC compressor was. And what this is an M62 Supercharger. I have an SLK Mercedes. So my plans going forward are to speak in Chinese for me. That is the whole reason that I've been cleaning up this space and tucking this in so I can run some more piping through here. You'll see all this piping and such will go right up through here and have plenty of room for that size pipe. So a few things I've been considering. I've had this intercooler laying around for a little bit, and I thought about running the intercooler there, but if I run the intercooler there, that blocks off my snorkel on this side. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is deleting this power steering cooler, the cooler lines, and running a front mount intercooler Maybe. I don't know. That's still kind of up for debate. I've got a few things I want to work out piping wise and routing wise, but my first big goal is a new header. To take this old log manifold header here that I've got, take this to Chop Town with El Chapo. Actually, no, this will actually stay. So I'm going to actually chop the bracket off this and make a bumper exit exhaust. It'll come out over here somewhere. So I'm thinking it'll probably, I still don't know. Maybe cut it up to come out here. I don't know, it'll be kind of wonky. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with it yet. Just kind of one of those bridges we'll cross when we get there. I could just dump it out the bottom there. I've got plenty of room. That's a bridge I'm going to have to cross pretty soon, but for now, what I need to do is route the header further over just a little bit, because it'll come into contact with all this stuff if I bolt the plates back up here. Andy actually did all this welding here. He actually cut that up so it'll fit his modified header that he's built. But for me, I don't know. I've got to figure out a few options. What I'm going to do in the interim is I'm going to unbolt my header and go ahead and bolt this up in its final resting spot and kind of see what I have to play with down there. That's for another video for another time. A future plan though is I would love to mount this on top of the motor right here. And if my thinking is correct, if I just reroute these cables, center this up, it's gonna be really hard to see on video, but with the AC idler pulley and the backside of the harmonic balancer belt all the way across through there and loop it around and be able to run it on top, because that would be super sick to run the supercharger up top. If you're wondering, this is a clutch style, I say clutch style because I'm talking about LSDs lately. It's a clutch activated supercharger, so you can actually turn this one on and off with a clutch, just kind of like your AC compressor. You see it'll spin freely without actually turning it until the clutch engages. And it's just an on-off switch. I want to do actual two different configurations. One activated by throttle at like a certain percentage of throttle, and another like the AC button or just an on-off switch that says supercharger on or off, whatever, something like that. That way I have options. That way I can just whip it on whenever, and that way it's not running full time also. And in order to do that, I'll have to do like a bypass and whatnot, but that's, again, future plans. Humongous thanks to Andy. I'll put a link of all his stuff below. Great dude. He's one of my good wagon buddies, and I'm really excited to get this thing up and going. Another little spoiler here is something for the future. Once I get that up and going, this will be another project. I'm not going to reveal what's in the box just yet, but I do want to thank Fast Religion, and here's their information. I know I'm doing a lot of shout outs, but I've had a lot of things going on lately. For tonight though, I'm going to do a couple of small little projects. I bought some just LEDs for the dash. I've been meaning to do that for a while. I'm going to go ahead and install those. D17 header. Actually some just cheap eBay, Chinesium, Amazonium header. They are pretty much the same, except you see the top has only 2 bolts and the top of the regular D series has 4. They don't quite match up exactly, but I may use this, since it's cheap enough, as a chop, copy, paste, or cut paste, so I can make that a pipe that goes out the side. I hadn't quite decided yet. Let me know if you guys have some ideas. Still not sold on using the log, but I think that'll be a nice compact way of getting all the exhaust out of my way. I'm starting to stack up wagon projects again. I have a power distribution block that I'm going to put on the firewall, but along with that, I need to tuck some stuff on the firewall. As you see, the firewall is a mess, so I've got to tuck a lot of that stuff, and that'll be coming very soon as well. Humongous another shout out to Bad Guys Worldwide. I don't know why I sung that, but the LSDs have shipped. I will be one of 10 people to have an LSD in an all-wheel drive wagon front transmission. So LSD is coming for the front end of this thing, along with a supercharger. Big things are coming. So yeah, it's going to be a very big year for the wagon. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take the transmission out. I'm probably going to go ahead and pull the motor, just pull everything out of the engine bay and clean it all up. Clean the engine, clean the transmission, get all that stuff ready and prepped. I think with the transmission, I'm going to kind of look at it, but I think I'm going to have to probably send it off to get the LSD installed, because being an older style transmission, it's going to have the shims and all that stuff just right. And also I need to have the seals all redone, and it may just be more cost efficient to have that sent off and done, seeing as most of the cost and labor is actually pulling the transmission and putting it back in. So I'll kind of explore a few routes of that. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I may just tackle that myself since it's really not that big of a job. But then again, I'm still pretty trigger shy about LSD installs after the whole Fiesta fiasco. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So I know you guys probably have a lot of questions on why I went supercharged, not turbo, and a few other things. The reason I chose that supercharger, it seems like a good middle ground. I think between like 6 to 8 PSI, probably from that pulley and the configuration I'll be running. And I think with mostly stock internals, even if I leave the stock internals for now, I think we're going to be fine with the power. As you guys know, all the wagon stuff's pretty beefy as far as transmission and driveline and stuff, so I'm not really worried about tearing up anything. That was another reason I went ahead and rebuilt everything, is because I knew I was going to add a little bit more power this year. And I've kind of explained to a few people why I haven't really talked about the supercharger yet. There's a reason that I don't spoil everything and I don't show my cards too early. I don't want to be that YouTuber who goes out of there and says, guys, check out this build, I'm going to turbo this and LS swap it and blah 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 blah, and then something comes through, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch, etc., etc. And I don't want to say that I'm going to do something without having the full roadmap planned out in my head of what I need to do and is it really achievable or not. So as a YouTuber, I try to be as transparent as possible with this stuff. And if I feel if I really can do it, I'm going to tell you guys about it. Because there's other tons of large projects I have going on, and a lot of things I'm researching and doing a little bit of side work and design, trying to engineer just the right kind of thing. And there's a lot of those side projects I don't want to announce to the channel yet or on Instagram or Facebook or anything, because to be perfectly frank, I don't know if they'll work or not. But that's the beauty of this channel, is I get to figure that out and show you guys. If 2 screws won't hold it, 4 never would. Do as I say, not as I do. So I'm going to look at these bulbs here. So I didn't really show you guys before I took this all out, but the factory EF bulbs are very, very dim, especially at night. And the LED swap, if this works the way I want it to, is fantastic. It makes everything look so much nicer. So hopefully I've got all the right stuff to do it, because this will be a tremendous waste of time and 5 hard-earned US dollar bills if it does not work. The finest Chinesium. This is the factory bulb. You can kind of, you're never going to see it very well. And we're just replacing them with these little LED ones. Again, you really sub-zoom it there. Quit. There you go. Focus on this, not my face. Even I have face tracking on. It's kind of my bad. These actually have blue covers that someone put on there at one time. Do you remember that? No, you definitely can't see that. Yeah, there you go. Do you remember those, like, I think AutoZone had them, but they had like the blue covers you could put on your bulbs and make, oh, it's a blue light kit. They last for like a month or two before they actually dry rot and just become one with your bulb and are pretty much transparent again already. It was tuning back in the day. That's how old I am. And I know there's only certain ones you're supposed to change out, but whatever. I'm going to see if I can't change out all of them, or at least as many as I can. I'm kind of going about this YOLO style because it's just after work and I really don't have a whole heck of a lot of patience. I know this isn't the most terribly exciting video, but it'll get a video out and let you guys have a chance to ask any questions about the supercharger, if you have any. So let me know below what questions you have, and I'll get back and try to let you comb through my brain and see what I'm thinking. My big plan though is to get this supercharger all put in, installed, all the piping routed, new injectors, anything else I might need, and then try to get the PFI. I'm gonna try to take a trip to Colorado and see Brent and the boys. I've been talking to Todd and Hayden and Wyatt a little bit about coming out and hanging out for a little bit, doing some video stuff. So we shall see. Hopefully I'll get a chance to collaborate with the dudes and the boys. I can see a little bit. It's enough. I'm missing a couple bulbs, but it looks better. It looks a lot better. Nice and bright. So I will go ahead and order a kit and get the rest of those. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description below the ones that I bought. Alright, so that's my whole plan. That's been my kind of a secret I've been working on in the back. Like I said, I hadn't said anything because I want to make sure my ducks in a row, and I want to make sure that I can execute this properly and make it actually work. I don't want to get people hyped up and then not be able to deliver. That's just not who I am. That's not how I'm going to portray myself either. So that's on the docket. That's next to be worked on. Really want to get that done real soon. So I got a big schedule in March coming up, and I'll be doing just running and running and running. So I think during March is when I'm going to pull all this stuff and have it out of the car. Got a race coming up February 22nd. Rallycross. Fiesta should be good for that. Explain more later. Seen that element diff down there? That's the one that I got at the junkyard. And seeing it behind this, that drive shaft line right there also, that's got me thinking too, boys. Free CRX is fixing to start getting some love because, man, I've got an itch. Got an itch to build something fast. It's been a while since I've actually built a proper fast vehicle. Let's ponder on that for a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to thank AuxBeam. They didn't pay me. They're not sponsoring me. They just sent me the free bulbs, the LEDs for this to try and do a quick review. I love them. I haven't got a chance to drive at night with them, but not on the wagon at least. I have drove with the Element AuxBeams. Really, really nice. Like, I've had people stop and ask, like, what kind are those? Like, my dad really liked them a lot. That's saying a lot because he didn't like anything. So, I want to thank AuxBeam. I want to thank Fast Religion for this box. There's another one coming. You'll see what that is soon enough. It's another one of those projects I want to make sure it's going to work before I reveal it all. But let's take this journey together, boys. Like Paul has some stickers that says we're going to speak Winese. Before long, we'll be whining with the best of them. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye.